Where am I? Where am I? You're probably wondering. Different surroundings, no salmon-coloured walls this week. Good evening, guys. Thanks for joining me for another stream. I am going to be speaking quite quietly because it is after midnight here in Thailand and there are people asleep in the building where I am. So, thanks for joining me tonight. As I say, I've decided to do a stream in the room again. You know, the last three streams I've done out on the beach road at Pattaya, and last week I did Jomtien. The reason I've decided to do an in-room stream this week is basically because I've bitten the bullet and I've moved into an apartment. Do you remember I said to you a while ago, I've been living out of a suitcase for 2 months, changing hotels, and I just got to the point now, I didn't like it anymore. So do you remember I told you that I'd found a real nice one-bedroom apartment right in the heart of Sukhumvit? And I was saying on the streams when I was back in the UK, I was saying, I think it'll probably be gone. I hope it hasn't. Well, I came to look at it last week when I got to Bangkok. You know, I've just come back from Pattaya, and I came to look and I asked the buildings manager, and it wasn't available as I guessed, but this one was. It's really, really nice. I'm paying 20,000 baht a month. I know you can get the same apartment for 10,000, 8,000 baht, way out of town, but I'm literally between Nana and Asok. The Nana train station is virtually on my doorstep, and I am planning to do a video of this apartment. It's great, you know, it's fantastic. After living in a suitcase, I've got a bedroom, a bedroom where I'm in the bedroom now. I've got a real nice lounge there with a balcony. I've got a real nice shower, bath, and all the rest of it. I've even got a washing machine. I washed all my clothes. I mean, that was great. You know, I don't have to go off to the laundry. Plenty of storage. I've got a real nice workstation here. You know, I don't have to keep packing away my laptop every morning in case it gets stolen. So it's fantastic. As I say, I literally moved in yesterday. This is the first day that I've woke up in it. I was really tired because I spent the entire day yesterday. I just decided to move. I had my hotel till Tuesday. But what it is, I thought, no, I'll just move. And so I spent all day. I went to Big C. I went to Big C and Tesco Lotus. And I've just been buying things for the apartment. You know, I had to buy all my bedding, towels. That's all done now. You know, I had to buy a kettle, but there's a microwave, there's some dishes, like I say, the washing machine, somewhere to hang my clothes. And I'm pretty much there now. I went to Robinson's last night, bought all my condiments, you know, tomato sauce and brown sauce and everything. But you can get it all online now. Lazada is a great place to buy. Okay, so I will do a video later in the week. I've got one video coming out tomorrow on a different subject, and I'll probably try. My landlady's coming around on the 6th, which I think is Tuesday. I wanted to meet her, and then once that's done, I'll do a real nice video. I'm not going to show you the exact building where I am because there are nutters out there. You've seen the comments last week, guys. I had a lot of trolls in, so you know, unfortunately, you know, there are some kind of nasty people out there. So, but I'll show you the apartment anyway. Okay. Oh, and as a cherry on the cake, there's a fantastic infinity pool on the roof, real long one, and it's quiet, good for doing lengths. All right, so let's and I hope you can hear me. If you're struggling to hear me, then just turn up your volume because, as I say, it's midnight here in Bangkok, and you know there's an apartment above me, there's an apartment below me. I don't want to, you know, be the bad neighbour from hell, as it were. I've just moved in. Okay, so and I got my Chang here. Cheers. Real good. Just something else before I get into the comments here. I've cut Simon, my friend. He invited me over for Sunday dinner at his house with his family, as he normally does on a Sunday. And he's kind of persuaded me now to stay here till the end of February because I'm changing my ticket. I'm due to go back on the 12th of December, but I'm going to change it. My original plan was to change it till the end of January, and I was speaking to Simon today, and he said to me, I don't see the point. What's the point? Here's something. I hope that's not me. Leave that one out. So Simon said to me, what's the point? Because, you know, your house hasn't gone through yet. It's still a little going through. But he said, you might as well stay out here till the end of February. So that's what I'm planning to do. I came out here on the 9th of October. So that's October, November, December, January, February. So 5 months. Okay. Hi to Prior 9. Hi, Peter and everyone. Hey, then, how you doing? Real Deal TV. Hi. I'll put that name up there. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Is it George Van Oortfang? Richard Woolley. Hi, Peter. Lovely Mong people. Crypto Chris. How you doing? Jim Dean. Alphabet Jim, hi. Anders Bergman, hi. Kev 123456. Martin McCormick, Leeds, how you doing? Okay, what times have you get out there? Have you, good evening, Peter, how's it going? Have you encountered any scams yet? Yeah, one or two new ones are popping up now, and I'm going to make a video on that. I haven't seen them around before. Not, you don't have to worry about it. Uh, excuse me, just a few things I've heard. So I will do a video on them three scams. David Barnett, hi, and everyone. Ryan Seeger, how you doing? Real Rennie, hi Peter, and everybody from the pleasant Coca Cabana. Yeah, lovely. Lester Paul, hi. Martin Ryder, Monga Vision TV. I wish, I wish. Somebody, people always sort of having a go at me for my thumbnails, clickbait, and I put these pictures. I always put a nice, sexy girl on my thumbnails. I mean, it's sex sells and it's normal. You go into a garage that sells tires, there'll be a calendar on the wall with the tire company advertising their tires, with a girl in a bikini leant over the bonnet of a car. Everybody does it, right? But I had a comment from a guy today. He said, or yesterday, I can't remember his name, but he said to me, he asked me a question. He said, why is it that you put pictures of half naked girls on all of your thumbnails? And I just wrote back to him and said, because YouTube don't allow me to use completely naked pictures on my thumbnail. So I thought it was a good answer. Martin Ryder, Cheap Charlie arrives in Pattaya. I don't know who Cheap Charlie is. I've never heard of him. I haven't watched any of his videos. I'm sure he's a very popular YouTuber, but I don't know him. Oh, I just want to say something else on the stories. If you're a fan of the stories every Saturday morning, the video that I sent out, that I uploaded this Saturday, I had 2 or 3 people write to me and say the second story had been read out on somebody else's channel. Now, I don't know who that is. They did mention the guy, but I've never heard of him. So what I'd say is, if you're one of the guys who are planning to send me a story, if you're going to send it into several channels, I'd rather you don't send it to me, because I don't want to be repetitive of something that somebody's heard on another channel, okay? I mean, when I started 3 years ago, the only person I know of that was reading out stories was Simon from Land of Smiles. I think I was a second person in a different format, and there wasn't anybody else doing it as far as I know. And now everybody and his brother's doing it. I've seen so many YouTubers now advertising, oh, send me stories, I'm going to start reading stories. There's a guy up in the north of Thailand, he's jumped on the bandwagon, he's telling stories, and they can do what they want. That's absolutely fine by me. The internet's a big place. I don't dominate it, I don't own it, but all I'm saying to you guys, if you're going to send a story to me, please don't send it to other people. If you want to send it to other people, then don't send it to me. I don't mind, but I'd like the stories to be kind of unique on my channel, okay? Damon, evening, Mr. Peter. Have a great stream in Cafe Racer, LK Metro at the moment. Well, I was in Cafe Racer about 2 weeks ago with Damon, and I believe you're coming up here to stay in a hotel 100 yards away. So I'll bring you around, and you and Keo, and show you the apartment. Bernie, how you doing, Bernie? Arriving in Bangkok Wednesday, December the 7th. That's well, it's the 5th today, which is a Monday. So Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, so you're going to be here on Wednesday. Damon, Keel misses you. Okay, well, tell her I miss her too. Okay, Brian Street, how you doing, Brian? Franco, good to see you in the house, mate. Franco there, moderating in the background. Paul Hoskin, will you be cooking your own food? That's quite an interesting question, actually, Paul, because, because I've been here 2 months, I'm actually getting fed up eating out, because, sometimes you wake up, you put your shorts on, you're pottering about on the computer or whatever, and you think, oh, I'm hungry. And because you're in a hotel room, you have to go out and eat. Okay, somebody will write in now and say, no, you can, order grab. But my point is, you have to pay for food to be delivered, or you go out and eat it. So the great thing about having a kitchen, I'm not going to be a gourmet, I'm not going to be the next Mark Wines, making videos. But the thing is, I've got options now. There's a 7-Eleven opposite me. I can go out and buy rice with crab on top for 99 baht and heat it up in my microwave. I can go out to a supermarket and buy, sourdough bread and margarine and cheese and keep them at home just to have a cheese sandwich, or toast in the morning. I haven't got a toaster, I have to buy a toaster. But in answer to your question, Paul, yeah, I'll be doing a bit of cooking. Mark Hanley, thank you for that, mate. The usual, mate. Yeah, very generous. I owe you a lot of beers. Where were we? Doug McCaig, ring the bell in Cafe Racer. Yeah, he could. Yeah, go on then. Ring the bell. Sunny listing, picture quality really bad. Can't do nothing about it. It's actually good my end. You just check your internet connection. How about the rest of you guys? Remember, I am going through a mobile phone as well. It will come and go, and if the stream drops out and you get that little white wheel, just stick with it. I will come back. How's the picture for everyone else out there? Okay. Matthew Cartwright, evening Peter, evening Mongus. Hope you're having a few beers. Yeah, I'm on the Chang tonight, Matthew, and then I'm going to be moving over to the Leo because they ran out of Chang, believe it or not. Paul Scarth, even oh, we've got a couple of competitions because the good thing about doing this in a room, I've got the Monga Minute, which is one you've already seen that I did in England. So at the end it says more Monga Minutes next Friday, but obviously it's a Sunday today. Paul Scarth, even though I hope you well. I've got the Ladyboy competition. It's a twist this week. It's different this week. And I've also got Spot the Thai Girl, so we'll do them a little bit later. John Metcalf, picture's awful, Peter. Okay. Let me just do I can't really do a lot. Let me just do a speed check from my end and I'll let you know how I get on with that. See, I'll know. Yeah, I'm getting good results on the speed check. Maybe it might be coming from your end because it's all looking good this end. You can always try closing it down and opening it up again as well. Sometimes that helps. Best dressed man, evening sir. Yeah, Shinria, how you doing? Simon Mays, good evening, Peter. Franco, hi to Damon there, or the way around. Christopher Tate, good evening. Donald Pearson, hi from Los Angeles, California. Hi, Donald. Do you know what? I plan to do the streams outside after this week. It doesn't matter even if I'm standing in the soil because it does restrict you when you're in a room like this. I've been buying cameras. I've just bought one of these. It's a fantastic little camera. I should have kept it out of the box. Look at this. Okay, I won't do it now. But I've got this, and I did buy a gimbal, but unfortunately the software isn't compatible with my mobile phone, so I don't think I can use it. But anyway, Peter Parker, how you doing? El Terrifical, yeah, good to see you in. And Glenn, good evening. Danish Bacon, yeah, thanks, Danish Bacon. Mara, we'll put that up there. Mara says, oh, hello, Peter, hello, guys, yeah. Gary Russell, hi back home. Don't forget, I'm in Bangkok now, guys, so if you want to ask me anything, fire away and I will answer as long as they're sensible questions, okay? Peter Parker says, what are pink walls? Okay, what I'm referring to there, Peter, is I was in a hotel. I made a video about it, actually. It wasn't a bad hotel. It's called the pattaya Hotel. And for some reason, lovely hotel, but for some reason, they painted all the rooms kind of a salmon pink. And that's what I said at the beginning. I said, no more pink walls. I'm actually in this is my bedroom of my apartment, you know, really nice. And the lounge is through there. So we'll have a look at that. I'll do that next week. Right. Abel Weinberg, I love your stories. Keep it up. Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Yeah. I want to, you know, like I said to you, if I read out a story, I don't want it to be read out on like half a dozen, channels. You know, if you're going to send me one, then, you know, don't send it to anyone else. Or if you're going to send it to them, don't send it to me. Chad and cheers from Texas, coming in loud and clear. Okay, that's good. Yeah, one or two people said the picture's bad. It'll come and it'll go. I'm in an apartment in a concrete jungle, and you know, I'm going through a mobile phone. I have got a good signal. I've set myself up real good now. I've got the apartment. I've got an AIS contract with 5G, although I am only getting 4G in this location. I'm going to buy a motorbike in the next few days or so. I always said, what's that say? Peter Parker, slightly fuzzy, but put up with it. Okay, yeah. I always said I wouldn't. I rented a motorcycle for a month in Pattaya, and I always said in Bangkok I'd never have one because, you know, the taxis took to jump on the back of a bike, the BTS and all that sort of thing. But you know what? I've only been here kind of a week, and it's suddenly dawned on me now the amount of money I'm spending, like, you know, 40 baht here, 60 baht there, 100 baht there. You know, I went to Robinson's last night. I was in Soi 12. At the end of Soi 12, and I flagged down a taxi. I only wanted to go like 2 sois more. And he said 100 baht. I just walked off in disgust. So I'm going to get myself a little step to a Honda Click or a Honda Wave. And, you know, I'll just take it really easy. I've ridden motorcycles in Bangkok itself. You know, you just got to assume that everything's going to pull out on you. Stay at a low speed and just be very, very vigilant, you know. Donald Pearson says, I like to lay down before bed, turn the lights off and listen to the stories. I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult. Yeah, just joking. Mickey Berkshire, evening, Peter. Hope you're well. The only thing I do in the streams at this time, because it was hot yesterday, I was traipsing to the supermarkets. I was going out to 7-Eleven. I was carrying 10 litres of water, you know, those big water canisters, one in each hand. And then I thought, oh, I've got to go back and get soap and I need some cleaning materials. Come back and it's like, oh, I need toilet paper. So I was going back and forth. But I like to get it all done. You know, I don't like to do things over a week. So I went up to Tesco's, got all my bedding and everything. I was sitting there thinking, you know what? I could do with getting a clothes rack to dry the clothes. I could do this. So I went back out again, really tired. And I've been over to Simon's, had a nice Sunday roast, had it late, about 7 o'clock. Um, and I just feel shattered now. I feel really, really tired. I'm having a beer, but I'm really ready for a good night's sleep. Old Foggy, how you doing? The picture is good enough. Okay, thank you. Sean, Bill, picture really bad. We're going to have a picture good, picture bad sort of night. Right, I just want to say thank you to SAR. I don't know how much that is, but the SAR 150. What currency is SAR? I'm trying to think. I don't know what that is, but thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that, Richard. I think you do that every week as well. Um, Donald Pearson says, you pick up a fake Rolex watch. I've heard they are cheap. Well, there's different levels of fake Rolex watches. There's the crappy, tinny, obvious fake Rolexes, which cost 500 to 1,000 baht, and they look absolutely rubbish, and they aren't. They've got batteries in them. But if you go to Hong Kong, where the watches are produced, the real good ones, they actually, everything's the same as a real Rolex. They have the stamps. They even have the crown of the Rolex logo on the winder. They've got real perpetual movement, the pendulum inside, and they're real good quality. But you're not going to pick them up for $50. You're talking probably, just trying to think how much a good one is, 8, 9, probably more now, probably 10 to 12,000 baht, a couple of £100, but you get a really, they look the business. They're the good ones. Don't buy these cheap things. When you're sitting in a bar and a guy comes around with a kind of leather case and he opens it up and he's trying to charge a lot of money for some rubbish. They're really rubbish ones. If you want a good fake watch, Patpon Market, I think it's still closed, but they do some good ones. But just ask the Thais, ask the hotel staff where do you get the good ones. Everyone knows. The rubbish ones are the cheap ones that people go to sell when you're in a bar. Boohoo, looks like you've had 15 beers, Peter. I'm actually on my first one, Boohoo. Right, real deal, Tilby. I miss you Barbie room, yeah. It was starting to do my head in actually for a while. Swadi Peter, I'm on the 1665 Keynote. Well, yeah, I missed that one. Christian Raystrom, is it? Now you don't match the background anymore. Yeah, they're still chubby and pink. John Bantic, you in hospital? No, I'm not in hospital. You seen that video? Didn't I was clutching my heart, Right, Paul Pablo, how you doing? Martin Blunston, my picture and sound are good. That's good. Thanks for letting me know that, Martin. Mark Hanley, Peter looks more handsome with a blurred picture. Thanks a lot, Mark. I love you too. Right, Donald Pearson, what part of Bangkok is the action at? Is it far from the airport, and is the area set up like Pattaya? It's nothing. No, it's not. It's not like Pattaya. Pattaya is like Vegas in a different sort of way. I mean, it's in the city with the girls. Bangkok's more cosmopolitan. You have pockets of those sort of areas. Pattaya, everywhere you go, it's in your face, right? But obviously, Bangkok being a capital city, it's not. You don't see it everywhere. But no, if you're into, let me get that. Where are we? Right, let's put that up there. What part of Bangkok is the action at? Well, it's all over Bangkok. There's a lot of places that Thais use, but in answer to your question, just stick with Nana Plaza or Soy Cowboy. They're nowhere near the airport. They're about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. Sukhumvit, you look at all that. Right, Christian. It does not help to take it easy on the streets. There are other drivers out there that don't take it easy. Yeah, but my point is, you talk about the motorbike, Christian. The point is, I have ridden a motorcycle in Bangkok without any problems, and that's why I'm saying you've always got to assume that somebody will pull out on you. You'll be going along, and someone flies out of a side street. So what I'm saying is, when you see a clear road in front of you, you still keep it down. I'm not saying crawl along doing 10 miles an hour, but just keep with the flow, be vigilant, and just don't look at your phone or whatever. Just watch what you're doing. And generally speaking, you have to be really, really unlucky to have an accident if you drive like that. Will says the Sunday roast is best. It is, but I was starving and we were waiting for one of Simon's sons to come home and he was taking forever. Mr. Tom, do you ever have any jabs in the UK before you go to Thailand? The picture quality is blurry. The first part of your question, I've never had any jabs ever. I've never caught anything. The worst thing that happens to me when I get here, I have a few days of Delhi Belly, the old runs. I buy Imodium at the pharmacy and it takes care of it, and generally I'm okay after that. I'm okay now. Um, right, Franco says, Thailand bound SAR is £32.53 from Saudi. Oh, okay. Well, thanks for transit converting it. Okay, that's great. Very generous of you. Brian Harrison says, "Stop mentioning the picture. We spend half the stream talk." Yeah, exactly. That's my thing. Look, as long as you can hear me and you can see something, the picture will come and go. Like he says, like who said that? Brian Harrison. Yeah, I mean, if it's it doesn't matter as long as if it's not good enough for you and you don't like it, then you'll have to come back next week or something and have to sort it out. Um, okay, let me just put the currencies up there. Where are we? Where are we? Right. The good thing about doing it on a laptop, when you start getting shitty comments, it's very easy to quieten them down when you're on a mobile phone. It was really hard last week. Then you'll keep paying for the apartment and keep the furniture when you return to the UK. But yeah, I mean, it's not like I'm not coming back, right? It's Then the thing is, you know what's happening with me. I'm splitting up with my wife. I'm selling my house. It's under offer now. The day will come when the house sale goes through. She'll take what she wants furniture wise. She's found her own place for my daughter. They'll move in and I'll come over here, but I'm all set up already. So, if I have to pay 20,000 baht a month while I'm not here for a month, 2 months, even 3 months, it's not the end of the world, is it? It's about 500 quid a month. But I've got my place now, and I'm slowly, as I'm here, I'm doing things. I'm, doing lots of different things. Carsten Thai, let me just turn this off. No, right, just I want to say hi to any member there as well. Um, Is it? Let me put that up there. Casting time. Hi, Peter. Question: Your rent for this short term 1 month or long term 6 or 12 for this 25 baht per month? It's 20. It's not 25,000. So what I've done, I've actually taken out a 12-month lease. Okay, because it's very hard to get an apartment like this. It's not a service apartment. It's not a vacation apartment. It's not a good deal on a hotel. It is a proper Thai. It's a proper condo in the heart of Bangkok in a great area. And the thing is, the landlady, she's Thai, but she's very, very nice. She speaks with an American accent. I didn't want to get too personal, but I can only assume she was educated in the US or she lived in the US for some time. And she's real nice. I said, look, I'd like to meet you. Can you come and meet up? And she's coming around on Wednesday. But initially, they wanted a 2 months deposit and a month down, which is normal. And I basically said to her, I said, look, I like the apartment. I can't give you 2 months down. I can't give you and a month's deposit. It's too much cash. I said, I've just paid for a long-term visa. I had to pay for flights. And I made all kind of exaggerated it a little bit. And I said, I love the apartment. If you're willing to take a month, and the contract's straightforward. I said, I'll move in virtually straight away. And she was very accommodating. She kind of said to me, she says, yeah, I get it. She said, and they were renting this place out. The last tenant was paying 25,000 a month. The buildings manager told me that off the record, so I'm paying 20 now. So with the electric and the water, I'm expecting to pay 22, 23 a month, which is about £500, which is a great deal. I mean, you wouldn't get anything like this in the UK for 23,000. It's about, I think it's about 50 square meters in total, so it's not a tiny shoebox. And the best thing about it is when I walk outside my front door here, when I go down, it's a very lively area. So, there's no chance of if I was stuck out in a stick somewhere, I got a bit fed up, it'd be, it wouldn't be very nice for me. Right, Kev12364. Peter, how long do you plan to stay in the UK when you get back before you go back to Thailand? Um, it's a little bit of a difficult one, that one, Kev, because the thing is, you know what it's like when you're trying to sell your house. My buyer could fall through. I doubt it because it's gone to a certain stage now. I've already signed the contents and agreed to certain things like having the boiler service and stuff like that. So I doubt I'm going to lose my buyer. And they're two school teachers. They've got to move out of a small flat. They've got young kids. But you know what it's like. It can take 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. It can be a hiccup somewhere. The main reason I'm going back is because my wife will take most of the furniture. I don't need any of it. Right? I'm going to pack up. I'm going to take a suitcase here with my personal belongings, but I'll pack up a box and send it by DHL. That's a much cheaper way than carrying on an aircraft. Just some personal items, some books and things like that. And so, in answer to your question, really, I suppose it's going to be anywhere between 1 and 3 months, isn't it? And if I think it's going to be a long period, like 4 or 5 months, I'll just come back. It's a £600-700 air ticket, isn't it? But I've got my apartment. You know, I'll have a motorbike. My visa's done. I've got a Thai driving license, car, and motorcycle. I've done everything the last 2 months that I've set out to do. And the final thing is to actually get this apartment. So you know, no dramas, as it were. But I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's do. You know, because I'm feeling like this stream's kind of a bit of a tired stream because I'm speaking quietly and I can't put any energy into it. So what I'll do to just to try and liven it up a little bit, I'll tell you what we had. Somebody wrote to me. Remember the Japanese girls, that language thing that, you know, I got a bad case of diarrhea. Somebody robbed me and all this. Somebody said, "Can you play it again?" I was telling my mate about it, my friend. So why not? Do you remember? Who remembers this?
I have a bad case of diarrhea. 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 I have a bad case of diarrhea.
I mean, only in Japan, isn't it? Let's do one more.
I was robbed by 2 men. I was robbed by 2 men.
Yeah, okay, we don't care about that. What we'll do, let's do this instead. There we go. That should cheer you up a little bit on a Sunday afternoon or Sunday evening. I just want to put a comment up here. It said, it's Martin. He said, "I hate paper thin walls. Whispering in your house would drive me mad." Well, a couple of things, Martin. They aren't actually paper thin. This is an older building. And to be fair, when I'm in a hotel, you can hear people come through the door. You can hear them pulling out drawers, moving chairs, and all the rest of it. To be fair, I've not heard anything in here. You know, I haven't heard any TVs going. I haven't heard people talking. I've heard a chair being scraped, but that must have been very, very loud. But the reason I'm speaking so quietly is because I'm new to the building and I don't want to get a reputation of being, you know, kind of a bad tenant. And I'm guessing probably people can't even hear me. And if I spoke at a normal level, I'm sure people wouldn't hear me here. But I'm just being considerate. And as long as you guys can hear me, that's why I'm speaking quietly. As I say, I could probably speak normally, but it's 12:30 at night, you know, so you've got to kind of, be a little bit sensible, haven't you? Rob, that's a strange question. Have you ever had a paranormal experience in Thailand? Ghost? That hotel, that big hotel where I think I was the only guest in there at one point. There was funny noises coming in. The corridors were a bit spooky, but I never seen anything now. Black Belt, nice to see you in the stream. Hello, Peter. Thank you for the quality program. Oh, thank you, Black Belt. nice to get a compliment sometimes. Mickey, I'm guessing you like the manga minute there. Look, so guys, just this week, I'm doing an in-room. If you just joined me, I'm doing an in-room stream tonight at quite a low volume. For the simple reason that I'm just dog tired. You know, I've moved into my apartment, and I've been doing a lot of racing around, and I'm real tired. Not sleepy tired, just exhausted. So I'm in the aircon. I've got my beer here. I'll do what I can tonight, but from next week, I'm going to try and get out there. And I am planning to get down to Hua Hin. I was supposed to be going down to Hua Hin around now. I think I'm going to delay that because I want to get this sorted out. I want to get a collapsible green screen behind me. So on the few occasions that I do decide to do a stream like this or I read out the stories, if I've got a green screen, I like to put nice videos, palm trees and that sort of thing in the background. I see somebody else doing it. He has pictures behind him in his software, but without a green screen, it doesn't look right because your head changes shape and goes all funny. You've got to have the green screen to, that black backs out the, gets rid of the background then, and then it's quite a crisp outline. You've got to have that green screen. Lester Paul, been off grid for a couple of weeks. How are viewing figures compared since you've been to Thailand? Viewing figures, pretty good actually. To be honest with you, my subscriber count has gone up real fast. I'd say a month ago it slowed down. I did get a little bit concerned because I was getting a few people unsubscribed, and I was still getting more people subscribed than unsubscribed. But it was really slow compared to what I'm used to, and that was for about 2 weeks. But the last kind of, I'd say, the last month it's been great. I hit 43,000 a few days ago. I think I'm up to about 43,100 now. 43,108 half an hour ago. I might be one or two more. But yeah, it's gone really, really well. And, I've tried to kind of do some diverse stuff. Some of you guys who are into the mongering stuff, you might have found one or two videos boring. I do intend to get into some more kind of mongering videos. I'm just kind of finding my feet at the moment, and I'm making all these videos in between. Believe it or not, when I was in Pattaya, 7 weeks, I put out 27 videos in 7 weeks. That's a lot of work. Because you don't just film and then stick it up. You've got to edit each one. The editing takes longer. Make the thumbnail, the description. So a lot of videos. I've got one going up tomorrow again. I'm going to film this apartment, put that up in the middle of the week. Then I'll do the stories again for next Saturday. So yeah, pretty good. Okay. Red's my favourite colour, by the way, Black Bolt. What's mine? Blue, I think. Doug McHarg, no ladyboys in the group, I think. We've got a ladyboy competition with a twist tonight. Well, I'll tell you what the twist is. Normally we have 8 pictures of 7 girls and you have to find that one ladyboy. But tonight I've done it the other way around. So it's actually the 7 real girls. Is it? No, sorry, there's 7 ladyboys and 1 girl. So the game tonight is to try and find the one that's a real girl. And I think it's quite easy tonight. We'll see how you get on. Sean, is it K1M? Good morning, brother. Peter, hello from Long Beach, California. Yeah, good to have you in the stream, mate. Good to have you in the stream. Mazza, okay, talking to someone else. Frederick Nyborg, is it Nyborg? Hello from Samurai. Oh, Samui. Rainy days here, but place and time. Yeah, it's really weird in Thailand. If you're not here at the moment, normally the rain stops around October. It starts to get sparse, but it didn't rain today, but every day since I've been here, it's rained. I mean, poor old Damien, when he arrived in Pattaya, we'd had about 4 or 5 days where we didn't have any rain. Damien arrived, and it was like chucking it down day after day. I'll tell you what, I'll give you a tip. Where have I put it now? I can't get it. It's in the kitchen. If you go into 7-Eleven, you get, you know what the Thais wear these ponchos, don't they? Like it's like a full plastic coat with a hood on it. Well, they come, you get them out of 7-Eleven for 29 baht, and they're about that size, and they're flat, and they go in your back pocket. Well, I came out of Nana Plaza about 4 nights ago, and it was great when I went in there. I came out of Billboard with a friend of mine, and I walked out, and it was absolutely chucking it down. And everybody was kind of stood in the plaza. They didn't want to walk outside. It was like somebody was holding a hose pipe. It was really chucking it down. So I took this thing out my back pocket, opened it up, put it on. I walked home in this torrential rain, hood up. The only thing that got wet was the bottom of my shorts, about that much, and my feet. But other than that, I was perfectly dry and I managed to walk home. So good tip there. Keep one of those in your back pocket or wherever you keep things. Dave the Raid, how you doing? Peter, can you do a video 30 the Stumbles Inn? Heard it was a cool place. I can't actually do a video from within the Stumbles Inn because it's the old story, isn't it? It's copyright. They play music, so if I'm in there, the music will come out. I don't know. Maybe we can think of another way to do it. Clive Allen, hello from the Philippines. How you doing? Uncle Nene. Okay, Jason Finch, you should go to Nana Plaza. That's funny you should say that because I went there the other night. You know what? I keep seeing comments around the internet where guys are saying, "Oh, the real beauty queens are no longer around," and that's why I've noticed actually. Um, there used to be beautiful, beautiful sort of girls between sort of 23 up to 28 everywhere you went. Each bar had a few of them, So if you had, I don't know, 30 girls dancing, there'd be 4 or 5 stunners in every bar, right? They're just not around anymore. So I think, maybe a lot's gone out to the Middle East, maybe a lot are doing OnlyFans. Why work in a sweaty bar when you can make money from the comfort of your own home like this? And there's a lot of turns switched on girls, isn't there? Yeah, the quality's not there anymore. It's, and the other thing is a lot of girls in patio, especially, they've had boob jobs, so they look all kind of false, and you're talking 40, 50, yeah, Uh, thanks for that. Is it Carmine? Yeah, cheers, thank you. Jason Finch, Pete, you should. Yeah, well, I've just read that one. I have. Real Deal TV. Uh, that's great. You're staying longer. I will be in Thailand late January, early February. Hope we catch up quickly. Yeah, I have actually met a few people since I've been here because I do get people say I'm flying into Bangkok. I'm coming into Pattaya. I'd like to meet up with you. I met a guy. Eddie. His name was, and I took him out. Actually, I wouldn't normally do this, but I met him, and he was literally brand new to Thailand. He'd never been here before. He was staying at the Landmark around the corner. And he said, "Do you want to meet for beer?" So I said, "Okay, look, I'll come over to your hotel because you don't know anywhere." I met him in the lobby, and it was just that time. And we went out and had something to eat. And I said, "Look, have you been to Soy Cowboy?" No, I hadn't been to Soy Cowboy. We went down there. It was a bit disappointing. And then we went. I took him to Therme. Therme is absolutely packed, wall to wall, packed. You walk in, and there's just a line of girls down one side. Okay, and there's more around the edge. But the thing is, absolutely packed also with Japanese and Korean guys, packed full of them. But that blew him away, Therme. Um, yeah, Mike says the pandemic made people work from home, no different for bar girls. Rob Abel, you're right, not many good-looking girls. Um, yeah, I mean, some of them are good-looking, but they're just older, and they're kind of like they just look like more hardcore than what they used to be around. You see a lot of cute girls who um, I can't really get into it too much here, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like Jason Finch, how many girls in Nana? Oh, there's plenty of girls. There's not a shortage of girls. You'll see them everywhere. It's pre-pandemic. There's no, you won't go into a bar and there's no girls. There's plenty of them, but it's just the quality's completely different now. David, or is it? Hi Peter, arriving in Chiang Mai in 2 months. That's what I was going to talk about. Um, let me just right. Um, what was I talking about there? I forgot again. Jesus. Jay Easy, good evening, Peter. Looking forward to getting back to time. Yeah, so I remember now what I was going to say to you. So a lot of guys will write to me or they'll send me a message and they'll say, "I'm coming to Bangkok. I want to meet up with you, or get a drink with you, or here's £100 towards your lunch." But the thing is, I can't possibly meet every single person that writes to me, or I'll just be out getting blocked every night, and I've got to make a life for myself here. I've got my apartment, I'm shopping, I'm trying to set up my office. I've got to have a kind of social life as well. I want to go to the gym. I want to use the swimming pool. So I do meet some people, but the thing is, if it's too much hassle, I don't. And I'm not being snobbish. If you're one of the guys who said, "Look, I'm flying in, I'll meet you," and I've just been busy and I couldn't do it, don't take it personal. Because, like I said, I get so many requests that if I said yes to every single person from morning till night, I would just be out meeting people and then getting inebriated and eating too much and all this. And I can't do it. So I'm very selective. If people are in the area or it's the right time for me, then I'll meet them. If not, I'll just make my excuses and I just can't go. But like I say, don't take it personally. Leeds, I bet they don't look old and haggard like the English women. Oh no, definitely not that bad. J Easy subscriber meet up once a month. Yeah, yeah, I don't know. Again, it's all organisation. And somebody said to me, "Why don't you start a Discord group like Trevor's got in Bangkok?" But I already put in hours and hours and hours with what I do. The YouTube channel's going okay. I'm not really. I'm gonna when I'm living here full time and I'm a bit more relaxed. I'm gonna think about how I can kind of develop this more. But I don't want to have to be committed to Discord groups and meetups and bar calls and all that sort of thing. I want to start to take it easy a little bit. Can the cook think I'll be spreading most of my time in Pattaya? Patty is great, but when you're down there for 2 months living out of a suitcase, it's terrible. It just gets too much because you've got the choice. You either stay in your room and get bored, or you go out. Now, a lot of people watching this will say, "Well, who would stay in their room? They're in Pattaya." But believe me, you can get too much of a good thing. You can get what they call Pattaya burnout, and I was starting to get it. And I spent several nights I didn't go out, but it was boring. I watched Netflix. I put my laptop onto the TV with a HDMI cable, had some beers in the fridge and stuff. But the problem with Patio, it's just everywhere. And although that sounds like a good thing, after 2 months, 3 months, the guys who live in Patio and are successful, they distance themselves away from the nightlife. It's getting very hot in that. Bear on a sec. Right. Yeah, the guys who are successful in town, they distance themselves from the nightlife. And I was talking to Trevor about this from Buzz and Patrick because I did a video with him, and he lives way out of the entertainment areas. He's got a place kind of with his wife and family and everything north of Pattaya, but he's got an apartment there. But all the guys I've met who live there, who live a successful life, and they're not in the bars every night, they live away from that scene because you just can't. You'll just get burnout. If you live in Patchy and you try and go out every night, or you're living above a go-go bar or a soy where there's nothing but bars and you can't sleep till the bars close, it's just too much. The reason, like people say to me, why did you choose Bangkok to live? Well, it's not in your face. It's out there if I want it. Nana Plaza is a 10-minute walk. Okay. Soy Cowboy is a 15-minute walk. It's all out there. There's Starbucks, there's cinemas. I'm in a good area if I want it, but I also want to live in a nice apartment so I can kind of, have some kind of normality. Um, right. Well, with Paul Hoskins, Peter's coffee shop once a month to meet the fans. Yeah. Jay Easy, yeah, good point. Have to pace yourself. And don't forget, guys, I mean, the thing is, I'm going through a lot of stress with what's going on at home as well. So it's quite hard mentally to deal with everything. It's okay to say, oh, well, I'm coming out here to live and, I'm going to change my life and I'm having a great time in Bangkok. Yeah, that's fine. But I spent 33 years with my Korean wife, kids growing up and all the rest of it. I'm suddenly like in the middle of a cosmopolitan city on my own. And I've got to deal with that mentally. It's not always easy. I mean, when I'd settled in last night, I put everything in its place. It got to about 9. I got a beer. I put the laptop on the TV in the lounge. I was watching Netflix. It was nice and relaxed. A beer. And I thought, yeah, this is nice. And after about 10 minutes, memories start coming back. You start getting a bit sad. There's no other word for it. I don't want to bring you down in the stream, but I'm just sort of telling you how you feel when you live on your own. It's really difficult. But I'll have to get over it. Like I keep saying to you, it's not like I've made the choice and I've said, well, I'm going to leave my wife and this is the life I want. She's made it clear to me. So I have to deal with it. I have to be a big boy and deal with it. Sorry about the glare, by the way. I still haven't got any anti-glare on the glasses. Right, Randy, how you doing? Good morning, Peter. Sorry I'm late. Well, you don't have to apologise, Randy. Just good to have you in. It won't be a real. I know we haven't heard this for a long time, but it won't be a long one tonight, guys. I am absolutely whacked. Right, wandering nomad. I'm off to watch the England versus Senegal build-up. Take care, guys. The build-up. Okay. I believe the football in England starts about 2 a.m. my time. It's 20 to 1. So, but not everybody's a football fan, are they? Here is a football fan, Andrew's Real World. Good evening, young man. Thank you for the compliment. Are you glad to be away for Patty for a while? You must have just joined the stream, Andrew, because I was just talking about that. Yeah, really happy. And I'm going to make a video. I'm in an apartment, okay, and it's great. When I wake up in the morning, I don't have to listen to cleaners shouting outside the door. I don't have to get up and get my laptop and lock it away in my suitcase and make sure there's nothing around. And go out and hope they clean my room when I get back. It's real nice. It's my place. Right, Wandering Nomad. Okay, we've read that. Okay, a lot of people mentioned about the football now. So if a lot of people disappear, then obviously I'll end the stream. But still got nearly 300, well, 250, and so we'll keep it going. Hey, then tell you what, Peter, it's so damn PC now. It's okay. It's so damn PC now that a minute of hot Asian smashers does a heart good. Yeah, I like that, smashers. Jay Easy. Yeah, place settled, can build some good routines. Mine would be a daily walk, 7/1. Yeah, I mean, look, you say that jokingly, but I've had some good walks because I although I'm in the action, as it were. I'm slap bang in the centre of Sukhumvit, 10 minutes Nana, 15 minutes Cowboy, Sky Train, everything. It's great. I'm very, very deep in a soy, very deep, okay? You know the soys are very long, aren't they? Well, I'm not in soy form, okay? That's too close for the action for me. But I'm in a soy that's got a lot of action in it, but when you go very, very deep into the soy, it's quiet. You know, it's real quiet. It's like I'm not in Bangkok almost. I can't hear a thing now. You know, um, I'll show you the soy if you see one. If you get it, then fine. But I'm just not going to show you the building, my house number. Um, like Mark Pearson, if you're single, Thailand is a place to be. Yeah, I know what you're saying, Mark, but you know, um, it's not number one on my mind at the moment. You might think that's strange. I've been married for 33 years. Here I am, a single man in the middle of Bangkok. We're here. Let's go for it. But I just can't get into it. Not at the moment. There's too much going on in my mind. Um, Right, Christopher Tate says the England game kicks off at 7 o'clock GMT. Okay, so I'm 7 hours ahead, right? So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, my time. Okay, perfect timing. Right, Lester Paul says, do you plan to go down to check Phuket out? Uh, no, no. I mean Phuket. They've had a lot of water down there, a lot of flooding. Uh, I've been to Phuket. It's not my sort of place. You're stuck on an island. It's very, very expensive. There's a lot of rip-offs down there. You've got the police stopping foreigners, trying to get money out of them. All them little buses, like taxi buses, they're ripping people off, and it's just no. It's not. It's not for me. Okay, Phuket's not for me. I mean, there'll be other people who swear by it. They've never had a problem, and they've got their favourite bars. But you've asked me the question. I'm saying it's not for me. Asif, hey Andrew, you Bangkok home? No, yeah. Andrew's back in Dorset. He lives in Dorset. He'll be coming back out here. Happy. Do they still have that basement nightclub in the Grace Hotel? Do you know what? That's not somewhere I've ever hung out, the Grace Hotel, because it's primarily it's kind of like an African slash Arab kind of hotel, isn't it? Those kind of people stay there. I've got nothing against them, but we also have our own areas, don't we, that we tend to hang out in. And Nana's always kind of been I'm not going to get into the race now. I'll say something I'll regret. A lot of people said what happened to the stream last week because it was 2 hours long on Jumping Beach, and I said something about a bar which somebody had told me, and I said it in all innocence, but somebody sent me a message saying, you know what you said could be, because the how do you say the word, deflammatory, talking badly about someone or something. There's actually a law against it in Thailand, and you can get arrested and punished. But I don't think I was going to get arrested. But I thought about it. I went in to edit a few seconds out, and I ended up editing like 1 hour, 59 minutes and 40 seconds. So the stream's gone. Right, bottle baby, haven't seen you for a while. Did a lot of walking in Pattaya. Knee is still sore, kept out of the bars. Yeah, Jumped In's a very good place to walk because the pavement, the pathway is really good. It's really even. It's a real long stretch of beach, real long. It goes on for miles and miles. I put a video up where I was on a motorbike and a scooter, and I read the entire length of Jumped In. It's a long, long stretch. It's a great place to walk, and not so busy, of course. Christian, being a single in Thailand can be a very shallow experience. Yeah, lady after lady, without any real content. If you're young, that might be okay. Yeah, and the other thing is, is it Krista? Like, you might not believe this, but I haven't been doing bar finds and short times and all the rest of it. I just haven't been interested, because I really have got a lot going on in my mind. I'm thinking, shall I go back this month? Shall I go back that month? I've been sorting out my long-term visa, and yeah, I've done a lot since I've been here. I've been putting out a lot of videos, 3 a week most weeks, and I get tired. I'm not a young man anymore. So when it gets to sort of 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, I start to feel like, I think I want to have bed. That will probably all change once things settle down. Was it you sent me a story, Seth? I did write back to you. I'm sure it was you. You bought the book. Thank you. Great, mate. Look forward to your video. Glad you. I don't know if you know this. You probably know this, guys, but it's advertised in every stream. But I do actually have a book out. There it is there, Thailand Bounds, Real Tales of Love and Losses in the Land of Smile. If you want to pick up a copy of that, it's on Amazon. You can download it or you can get the paper book. If you've got the paperback and I bump into you want me to sign it, I'll sign it. Thanks to Andrew Hammond for putting that together for me. Sold quite a few copies now, actually. We were going to do a volume 2, 3, and 4, but just haven't got round to it. Right, Mazza, thank you, very kind. Here's 100 baht towards 4 lunches. I'll get a few beers. I'm on the Heinekens back in sunny Northants. I didn't know you're in Northants, Mazza. I wonder whereabouts you are. Right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Right, that's the last chang. Oh, it's gone down really nice because I had a roast dinner at Simon's tonight. My weakness is roast potatoes. Everybody gets into the chicken, the pork, the beef, and me, I like the roast potatoes and I cover them in salt, gravy on top, lovely. But the problem is you get really thirsty. So that was the last chance in 7-Eleven, believe it or not. But all was not lost because we then changed onto Leo. Cheers. Right, okay. Thank you, Mazza. I appreciate that. Aussie 411. Hey Peter, I'll be in Sukhumvit 62 in Bangkok. Wow, that's a long way off. If you like home cooked Thai meal in January, my girlfriend's cooks awesome. I'd love it, Aussie. I will come round. I'll bring a bottle of wine or something. But you know, you got to tell her I don't eat garlic at all. Right? Any whiff of garlic, I'm out of there. Honestly, that's why it's really hard for me in Thailand. You know, I can't eat buffets, Thai buffets, because it's all got garlic in it. The first thing I learned to say in Thailand was "Mayo Gapiam Kam," no garlic in it, please. So if I come around and I get a whiff of garlic, I'll make my excuses and I'll be out of there. Even Simon, you know, one of the dishes on the roast, in the breasts of chicken in a mushroom sauce. Well, normally he'd put a lot of garlic in that, he told me. And today he didn't put any garlic in anything, especially for me. So I'm very kind of him. Right, Asif, has your family been in touch? I'll tell you what, I haven't had a single text from my wife. I was going to say since I arrived, since the first week after I arrived, because I did text her, and I thought she'd be interested. I just sent her a text and said, "Look, I've arrived. I'm safe. I'm staying here. How's things at home?" And then I said something she didn't like innocently, and she wrote and said, "Don't text me." So I thought, okay, fine, I won't text her. So it's funny. My relationship with my daughters is getting really good because I'm not there, and I don't know. Absence makes the heart go fonder. But my wife, it's she's obviously upset. So. I'm just trying to get some questions up there that people write to each other. To the Paradise City on a night train, no garlic. What are you, a vampire? Yeah, well, I like that vampire girl, don't I, the picture? No, I don't know what it is. It's really weird because I absolutely love onions. You know, I'll buy a hot dog just for the onions, pile them on. I can eat onions raw in a salad. I love them, absolutely love them. But I don't know what it is. I just don't know what it is. When I smell that garlic, I don't mind it. I know I eat garlic in things like, I'll go in and have a Madras curry in India. I love Indian food, right? Or Indian food's got garlic in it, but it's not overpowering. They put the garlic in and it's mixed in, and although it's in there, it adds to the taste. It doesn't stand out to me. It's not like, that. But you go to like Simon. He's awful for it. When we go to these small restaurants, he has like shredded pork and all these little Thai dishes that are Thai, and it's laced with garlic. And in fact, it was so bad. We went into a bar in Bangwa a few weeks ago. It was last time I was here, actually. And he called me over and I said, "Yeah, I'll come over." I took a 20-minute train drive, jumped on the back of a bike for 20 minutes more, sat down, and he'd ordered this pork, and it was laced with garlic, right? And we were in an outside door. And it was so bad, I stood up and I said, "Look, I'm sorry, Simon, I'm going to go back." And I left. That's how bad it was. Okay. Right, to the Paradise City on a night train. Women tend to be pragmatic when it comes to relationships. When they say it's done, it's done. Yeah, that's fair enough. We agreed to end in a nice way, not involve lawyers, not screaming. I'd like to think, after maybe a year of being separated, I'd like to think we'd stay friends, We're not even going to get a divorce. Yeah. Peter Kay, garlic bread is the future. He's just done a comeback, hasn't he? He's actually my favourite comedian. He did a concert in Manchester, the first one I think for about 12 years. He's lost a bit of weight by the looks of it as well. But he got a standing ovation at the end of his performance, and it brought him to tears. So hopefully we'll see a lot more Peter Kay. But yeah, garlic bread, it's the future. Andrew's Real World. Let's put you up there. Oasis Bar in Soy Cowboy is a great bar to sit and people watch the evening with. There's a few great bars in Soy Cowboy. You know the one I like. I like the Tilak bar. I was in there last night with Simon, and I was in there the night before with Eddie, the subscriber I went out with. Um, okay, so we haven't talked about it for a long time, but with regards to the video quality, I can't do nothing about it. Okay, Krista Renstorm, is it? I love garlic, but when my Thai girlfriend cooks, she uses a lot of garlic, but it seems like she burns it away because the food almost never tastes of garlic. Yeah, okay, that's good if it doesn't taste. It's the smell that does me. Are you a good cook, Peter? If so, what's your special dish? I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm a good cook. No, instant mashed chicken, pie and peas. That's about my lot. But I'll tell you what, we're an hour into the stream, so let's do a competition. We haven't done one of these for a month or so because I've done outside streams. Right, okay. So I'm going to put up, these are older competitions from a year ago, but I'm sure you won't remember them because you won't remember the answers for sure because I made these when I was in the UK. So we've got two competitions tonight. So the first one is Spot the Thai Girl. So there's 8 pictures. There's 8 Asian girls that come from all over Asia. Only one of them is Thai, and I want to know which one is the Thai girl, okay? Okay, so the object, of course, is to tell me which one is a Thai girl. So let's start now. Martin Ryder, no, that wasn't 5. Bikepacker, no. Jord Van Oetprush, got the answer here. Yeah, you got it. Well done to you. Martin McCormick, no. To the Paradise Night Train, no. Eric Turon, no. Robert Prazula, no. Podmeister General, you got it right, well done. Anesh Patel, no, you didn't get it. Paul Scarf, well done. Tony7682, you got it, well done. Old Foggy, not sure what that means. Rumble, no. Samui, yes, you got it. Innovations Reality, no. Jeff Say, no. Red Pill Denmark, no. Mara, no. Andrew's Real World, no. Richard Woolley, no. Jay Easy, no. Fitz 7778, yeah, you got it, well done. Brian Street, no. Ricardo, no. Adrian Ford, yeah, well done to you, mate. Uncle Nene, yeah, you got it. Michael DiCaprio, hi to you too. Martin Ryder, no. Bottle Baby, no. Doug McHarg, yeah, well done to you. Jay Easy 7 or 8, only allowed one, but they're both wrong, unfortunately. Harvey Wisdom, no. White Packer, no. Carmine RG, is it? No. Darren Ho, no. Right, so now it's going on a bit, so I'm just going to read out the right answers now, okay? So if you don't hear your name, you got it wrong, okay? Mazza, yes. Phil M, yes. Fit778, yes. All the right answers will come in now, won't they, as they normally do. Mara, yes. Fitz, yeah, we've got you already. Martin Blunson, yes. Clive Allen, yes. Matthew Orcone, yes. And STE Billabo, yes. So let me just run this so you can see which one it was. Okay, and don't forget we've got the blimey, that's blasting out a bit. What's going on there? Don't forget we've got the Ladyboy competition a little bit later as well. Pretty noisy air conditioner. Right, how's the picture now, guys? Is it still? We won't talk about it all night, but just out of interest. Right, Paul Hoskin can't beat a 699 sandwich. Martin Ryder, they would all get it. Get what, Martin? What? How you dirty devil? Mazza, well, first time I got it right in 2 years, but it is an older competition, Mazza, so maybe it's stuck in the brain in your deepest thoughts that you couldn't remember. Right, Paul Scar. Yay, for once I did pick the Indonesian girl. Well, it was tied for. It was the girl we were looking for. Matthew Cartwright, North Korea, yes, please. I would go to the gulag for her. Yeah, Mara. Well, I've got to be honest with you guys. To make the competition interesting, when I pick out these girls, I don't pick out the kind of like second raters. I try to get beautiful women, so that it's just an enjoyable competition. You know, even if you don't want to play it, you listen to the music and look at all these gorgeous ladies. Elsmere, good evening. How you doing? Roger Ward, frozen. How's the weather where you are? I mean, last week I said, well, the good thing about being in Thailand, it's warm. You guys in England must be freezing your nuts off. And people write me and say, well, no, not really. It's 16 degrees or something like that. It's very mild. So how is it now? Right, frozen picture. The picture it freezes. Right, okay. Check band, how you doing? Hello, Peter and everyone. Dor, I just missed the quiz. I didn't see the results, so I can watch it on repeat. Still a chance to lose at the Ladyboy quiz, yeah. And guys, look, I'm just going to say, I don't want to talk about it all night. I can't do nothing about the picture. When I'm out roving around, the picture seems to be better because I'm getting 5G. But I'm in the middle of a concrete. I've got an apartment building there, an apartment building here. I'm in an apartment, so the signal gets blocked. Just you're gonna have to deal with it or not watch it. I can't do anything about it, unfortunately. If I could, I would fix it. Like Clive Allen, Philippines warm, yeah. Somebody was telling me I went to the Philippines years and years ago, and it was years ago, 30 years ago maybe. Somebody was telling me that they're much more hardcore, the Filipino girls. Like they're more, like the Thai girl that's all money and stories and stuff. Somebody was saying that the Filipinos are really, really at it. A lot worse than the Thais. Like Paul Hoskins says, it isn't t-shirt weather still. It's still t-shirt weather in the UK. Okay. Somebody wrote to me today and says freezing their nuts off in the UK. Picture back to normal. Okay, that's good. Ellesmere, no worry about the picture. Ellesmere would have the sound. That's good enough for us. Yeah. What do you want to talk about now? I can't think of anything to talk about. Probably an hour or so. Okay, let's have a look over here. What have I missed? So that, what I've noticed, I've said this a lot of times when when I do the competition, sometimes when they're really hard, people they get the answers wrong. But when I say yes, you got it right, you got it right, you got it right, suddenly it's all right answers towards the end. Just wondering if people are, Right, Andrews Rill Road. It's only 5 degrees in the daytime now. We've got an Arctic blast coming through England. Yeah, that'll make it. That Arctic blast makes it very cold. I'm glad I'm not there. I can honestly. Somebody asked me the other day. They said, "Do you miss anything about the UK?" I've been out here now two months exactly. People say, "Do you miss anything about the UK?" And my first reaction is to say, "No, nothing. I don't miss anything. It's a shithole." But if you contemplate, if you sit back and really think about it, there's a lot of things. It's much better here. The mood here of people just seems to be, a lot friendly, a lot warmer. People seem a lot more. Just playing about with this. People seem a lot more content with their life here. They're not worried. When you're in England, people are worried about their bills. They're worried about the cost of energy. They're worried about bloody everything's going up, aren't they? But somebody did say to me, "Is there anything you miss?" And as I said, I was tempted to say, "No, nothing. I hate it then. I love it here." But I do miss some stuff actually. Apart from the obvious, my kids and all the rest of that's by the by. I miss my dog, funny enough, because he's like my dog was like my best mate. I know that sounds a bit silly, but it doesn't matter what's going on with pets, especially dogs. It doesn't matter what's going on in your life. If you go out for the day you work or whatever it is, and you've had a shitty day, and everybody's been against you, and your boss has had a go at you, your wife's had a go at you, everything's gone wrong. You didn't get that sale you were after that you've been chasing for 2 months. You've been insulted at work, whatever it is. You come through your front door and your dog is always, always happy to see you, wagging his tail. It doesn't matter what sort of a day you've had, your pet is always happy to see you. So I do miss my dog because I spent a lot of time with him. When all this was going on with my family, some of the some of the what's the right word I want to use here? Some of the ways I de-stressed was, I just spun the lead on him and I went for some real long walks, into parks, around lakes and that sort of thing. And I spent a lot of hours with my dog, the beagle, Benji. And it was very therapeutic, actually. And the one thing about the UK, we're very, very lucky. It's good quality water. It's good quality air outside of the major cities. It's fresh, it's clean. And I miss that. I miss certain smells of the UK that you don't get here. When somebody mows the grass, there's that fresh smell of grass. Tarmac being laid on the road. No, that sounds a bit strange, but I love the smell of tarmac being laid. In the autumn, people burn logs. A lot of people now, they've got wood burners installed and they get their logs delivered. And, this time of year, logs are going on the fire. You don't realize you miss all this. When you're in the UK, it's just everyday occurrences. But when you suddenly don't have it, you miss it. We've got a lot of green space in the UK. There's a few parks. You've got Lampini Park at the road. You've got this new park at the end of Swoit Ford, but it's not the same. In the UK, we've got some beautiful, beautiful countryside. You can go anywhere you want. The smells of the forest and yeah, I miss that. I really do, and I'm looking forward to. I hope my dog survives long enough because he's old now. But I'm looking forward to getting back, going out with the dog, going on some nice walks, and yeah, like I say, you don't realise until you haven't got it that you miss it. Mark Hanley says he'd rather have cats. Cats don't do it for me, Mark, because I just find them boring. They don't do anything. You look at a cat and say, come here, come here, call it over. It just looks at you and like goes the other way. Dogs, at least they're, they're responsive, aren't they? Right, Richard Woody says, I would be living in Thailand now if I hadn't got a dog, but it's a banned breed, so I can't bring her. Funny enough, I was speaking to a guy I met in Pattaya. He's a long-term subscriber, a guy called Ralph. That's his name, and he's got a channel called The Tiger's Den. It hasn't really gone anywhere. He started it. He's one of these guys who started it, thought it was a good idea, got to Thailand and found it was much more fun to party, and he's met a nice girl. But a nice guy. I went with him to the beer garden in Pattaya, and but he's he's one of these guys that's basically he brought his dog with him, and I think he told me it cost him 180,000 with everything, the paperwork. And I said to him, "Why? How did you bring your dog with him?" And he says, "It's my dog. I don't have anyone else. I just got my dog." So you can't argue with that, can you? Do you know what I hate when I see these videos on YouTube or TikTok where people are cruel to animals? I just hate it. I've seen a great video, right? It was great in one way, but really bad in another way. It was a guy and a donkey, and I don't know what was going on, but the guy was slapping the donkey in the face. He's like just kept whacking it, and in the end, the donkey had enough. The donkey bit him, but he didn't just bite him. The donkey hung on to him and started swinging this guy, and he was screaming because obviously the pain. I was like, yeah, let's hear it for the donkey. Okay, I won't try to pronounce your name there because I won't insult you. Thailand is far from the best countries to live in. When you say far, what other countries would you rather live in? It depends what you're looking at. Personally, God, it's getting cold now. Hang on. Let me just. Thing with aircon, it's nice to have it, but it don't have to get cold quick. It depends what you want. It's not for everybody, is it? For me, what I like about Thailand, I love the smiles. I go out, it doesn't matter who I smile at, right? I can go down the street, perfect stranger, I smile at that girl, that guy. Doesn't matter who, they smile back, okay? They don't smile back in the UK. I love that. The Thais are polite, they're accommodating, they let a lot go. The food's great here, the weather's great. Sometimes some things are very cheap. There's a lot to do here. You can go and look around the mall at 11 o'clock at night. You can't do that in the UK. So yeah, it might not be for everybody, but it's for me. Okay, that's why I'm moving out here. Right, Ricky. Without holding tax on pension income from Canadians residing in Thailand is 25%, may rethink living in Thailand. Yeah, that's something you've got to think of as well. Luckily for me, my Thailand-bound channel is registered in Thailand, not the UK. So I have to pay 7% tax on my income from Thailand bound. If I was in the UK, it'd be 20%, but I still have to pay tax in the UK on anything earned in the UK. And I've got a few bits and pieces that I worked hard for, and it's a pension for me. But I'm not even there, but I have to pay tax on it. It's really hard you can't beat yourself up about it. You just got to say, right, well, I'm going to sell it, or I'm going to pay the tax, bite the bullet. But if you lay awake at night thinking about it, what's the point? There's no point. Life's too short. Um, okay, that, I feel sorry for you. 11 years living in Thailand, most smiles are just fake. Yeah, they might be, okay, but the point is, not everybody who smiles back at you is genuine and thinks, I love you and I'm going to smile back at you. But what I'm saying is, they do smile. They might be fake, some of them, right? I'm sure not all of them. But, if I walk down Oxford Street in London and I smile, people look away. They'll look the other way. They'll think I'm a weirdo. At least they smile back at you here. And whether it's real or whether it's fake, I don't really care. It's just nice to see a friendly face, isn't it? No offense to you. I hear what you're saying. I lived here for a long time, and there was a period I didn't go out because the Thais got on my nerves. Same silly questions around the bar. What's your name? Where you come from? Are you on holiday? You get to the point you think, oh God, I just can't stand this anymore. But you get over that hurdle. And as I say, I'm not having a go at you. It's just for me, it's I what you might not know about me. It's not like I've just come out here and I've been out here for 2 months. It's my first time, and I'm still in that holiday mode. I spent many, many, many years in Thailand. I lived for 2 years in Khon Kaen. I lived in Pattaya for 3 years. I've had 4 or 5 addresses in Bangkok. Okay, so I know the score. I know what it's about. But I've still chosen to come back here because, for me personally, I like the people, the food, the climate, the country, everything. Not everything. There are some things that suck in Thailand. But, you've got to take the bad with the good with the bad, haven't you? Okay, Andrew, hit the like button, guys. Pete is doing his best. Thanks, Andrew. You sound like a charity there. But yeah, appreciate that. The football will be starting. I know you're a big football fan, Andrew, so I won't be cutting into that time. I don't believe you miss the smell of grass, Peter. Joke. Have a fantastic time, Peter. I know you. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to go back because I miss the smell of grass. I'm just trying to give you an example that, when you're not in the UK, there's certain things that you didn't think about that you take for granted. And when you're here, you think about it and think, oh, yeah, I remember that. I remember, Um, um, I can't pronounce your first name, but it's up on screen. Out of curiosity, how easy was it to get a work permit? Um, I can't get into that right here. Um, it's not something I want to discuss. And it's not because I don't trust you or something like that, but this is a public forum, and I didn't buy it or anything like that. I've got some contacts, and I was able to work things out, and everything's genuine. But it's not the right place to discuss that. Okay, if I ever meet you in a bar one day, I'll explain it to you. Because the thing is, there are people who don't like you, not you, me, right? Any YouTuber. It doesn't matter how many subscribers you've got. There's always people in the background there's some people who actually hate you. I know people. Trevor's got haters. Okay, Bangkok Pat put out a video today because he had a lot of trolls and haters about something he said. Okay, I've certainly got haters out there, and the reason I don't want to speak about it is because these people will use uh, any excuse to report you to YouTube, to report you to the Thai government, to try and get your channel taken down, to try and get you in trouble, to try and, they'll listen to every word you say in the live stream. Like last week where I said something about a bar that was quite innocent, but luckily the person who wrote to me wasn't a hater. He was a bit of a fan of the channel. And he said, look, Pete, I watch your streams. I don't want to get you worried, but you said this and it could be construed. And I thought, yeah, he's right. And hence why I went in and deleted it. So, when you talk about things like work permits, you talk about ducking and diving and things you do. The problem is, there are people out there who listen to every word, they hang on every word, and they're just waiting. Unfortunately, they're sad individuals, but they're waiting for you to cock up so they can try and get your channel taken down. We know one guy, we won't mention who he is, but you know who I'm talking about. He's reported me to YouTube numerous times. I don't do anything. I put a few sexy pictures on my thumbnail, but I've got a theory. All my thumbnails, whatever the girls are wearing, you can see girls wearing on a public beach, okay? And if you can see them wearing on a public beach, YouTube aren't bothered about them. David Pipe, how you doing? I haven't seen you for a while, David. Does anybody know if US Social Security is taxable for US citizens rented in Thailand? Right, I didn't even know you paid tax on it, David. But what I would say, knowing the USA, and I'm not, I'm not having a pop at Americans, but they tax you on everything, don't they? I mean, I remember when I lived in Thailand as an expat, when I worked in the hotels, I was classed an expat. As long as I didn't spend more than 90 days a year in the UK, I didn't pay any tax. I earned money from the hotels. It was paid into my bank account here or wherever designated outside the UK. I never paid any tax for years. But I know I had American friends who said, in America, it doesn't matter how long we're out of the country, we have to pay tax. So I'm guessing, David, because you're American, I'm guessing that the answer would be, yeah, you have to pay tax. But as I say, it's just a guess. Jeff Fried Rice, Hey Peter, finally caught you live in a long time. Yeah, not the most lively tonight, Jeff, because if you just come in, I was explaining earlier that I've just moved into an apartment. I've been running around Lotus, Tesco, numerous trips to 7-Eleven because I forgot soap, toilet paper, bits and pieces. I'm now settled in. I'm going to do a video this week, show you where I am, where I'm at. But I'm really, really tired. I just couldn't go out and do a live stream in the street tonight, sweating my cob, as it were. So at least I've got aircon. I've got my Leo beer here. So cheers. And that is bloody nice. Really nice. It's going down well tonight. Right. Johnny Red, I cannot wait to get back there, and seeing you back there makes me think I'll be living out there soon. Well, take the plunge, Johnny. I mean, look, I'm 62. I'm 63 in April. Okay. Failed marriage after 33 years. Nothing to be proud of, but I've dusted myself off. Okay. I'm lucky I'm in a financial position that I can do it. I'm not rich. Anybody watches my channel knows I've spent the last 2 months in budget hotels, pink walls, out of the way areas, things like that. So I'm not rich, but you've got to make a decision in life, and either you sit at home and you mope and you think you've got nothing to live for, or you dust yourself off. You think, hey, I don't have one foot in the grave. I went and had a full test in Bangkok. They were doing a promotion in the hospital. I put a video up. Everything come back clean. Okay, I'm 63. So what? So what? I'm not dead. I don't have to stay at home watching bloody Heartbeat in the afternoon or knitting. I've got a life still, and while I've still got life, I'm out here. I'm going to do my thing, and I would encourage anybody, however old you are, if you've got your health and you're not happy with your life where you are, if you've got any kind of a opportunity to say, I'm going to scrap what I've got here. I'm not happy. I'm going to head out there, do it. Absolutely, guys, do it. Even though I had to do it because of my wife and family and all the rest of it. I could have stayed in England. I could have got a small flat, drove a taxi or something, bring in some income. But no, I've moved out here. I'm on my own. Yes, I am a little bit lonely. I'll be honest with you. I don't want to go out bar hopping every night. I've been out 3 nights and got leathered. Um, and when I sit here on my own and there's no sound, it is lonely. But like I said to you, if you're living in the States or US or wherever you are, and you're not happy with your life, and you've been with your wife for 30, 40 years, and she's not treating you right, and you think, well, I've got no choice. You have got a choice, okay? I don't want to preach, I don't want to lecture, but there's another side to life. Right. A lot of comments from you tonight. To the Paradise City on a night train. Not a bad thing. I do like a bit of participation as it is. Wrong to expect friendliness from UK folks. After all, most old folks die in their own homes. It's terrible. Yeah, let's. I'd love to get into this subject. I will say very briefly that you are right. They've found people in the UK that have been dead for 3 weeks, and why were they? Nobody knew, because nobody checked up on them. That's another thing about Thailand. They don't, as a rule, put their old people in old people's homes. It's starting a little bit now. It's going a little bit like the West, but generally, big families, because they keep mum and dad when they get married, as do Indian families. They just build an extension on the house and they all move in together. Somebody said to me the other week, "Oh, this guy's having a pop at Indians like me, like I'm being a bit racist against India." That couldn't be further from the truth. I mean, I love curry, that, guys. I've got Indian friends, I've got Indian followers on here, and I always talk about India in a positive light. So I don't know why, like say, some people just like there with the old knight, right? And I worked in India for a year. You know that, don't you? Right. Okay. Ellesmere, is Sukhumvit 7/1 Ali back alive now? Oh yeah, absolutely. It all is. Any chance we could have a video report? Well, I'd have to do it in the daytime, so there's no music. And the other thing is when you walk down those places with a camera point, I've got some very stealthy kind of cameras now. So, but I don't want to be too, I don't like sticking my camera in people's faces, as you know. But yeah, I mean, I can do a walk. I can do a walkabout, but I'll do it in the afternoon. And people rightly say, "Oh, why do you film it in the afternoon?" How would I do it? It's a difficult one, because ideally you want to walk down there at night when all the bars are happening, but I'd have to dub the sound, which would be boring. So it's really a difficult one. But in answer to your question, think about pre-COVID, okay? The only difference is there's no Chinese here, okay? There's a lot of young Russian men. We discussed this last week. We know the reasons. We don't need to get into that again. The quality of the girls is not pre-pandemic, okay? God knows where they are, okay? It's not the same. There's plenty of girls about. There's a lot of girls, but the quality is totally different, okay? You'll see that when you get here. But in answer to your question, not only 7/1, one of my favourite restaurants, just as you walk there on the right there, brilliant restaurant, Thai restaurant, packed every night. Soy 5, where is it, Foodland, beer guy. Soy 7 is very busy. You've got all that new bar complex there. I was there the other night. But yeah, it's kind of like pre-COVID. Um, yeah, absolutely. Aussie. Okay. And nice name there. Uncle Nene. Yes, no matter where you live in the world, you still have to pay US taxes unless you give up your citizenship. Okay, so there's an answer, David, to the question you were answering earlier on, and I'm amazed I actually remembered your name. Um, okay, that's a different way to think of it. Christian says, if you don't have any haters, then you're boring. Um, you get some funny comments, you know. I mean, Trevor said to me when I was in time, you know, I did a video with Trevor from Buzz and Pat. He gets quite a few haters as well, you know. I don't know. I think some people just get jealous of things. God, I feel like I'm in a fridge here. I can't sleep without. I don't know. I'm gonna have to have a look at that later. Bear with me, guys. Else I'm gonna be bloody Mr. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna turn it off for a minute. It gets so cold. You have to turn it off. I've got to sleep with that. Where were we? Where were we? Where were we? Yeah, okay. So I was talking to Trevor, and he gets a few haters. All YouTubers get them. Even look at Bangkok Pat, how easygoing he is. You wouldn't think he'd have any haters, but he got hammered on a video he made. I won't go into it. You can watch his videos. But you know, you can't let it get you down. Like I said to you, that guy wrote to me. I said at the beginning of the stream. I'll say it again. A guy wrote. Actually, I had a couple of comments. One guy said, he said, if you put any more pictures on your thumbnail of sexy girls, I'm unsubscribing. See you then, right? And then a guy wrote to me. I mentioned this at the beginning. He said to me, he said, "Why do you put half naked girls on all your thumbnails?" I just wrote back and said, "Well, YouTube don't allow me to put fully naked on the thumbnail." You know, so you always going to get that in there. There were some big ladies on. I don't really want to mention another channel. Go on then. On NDP Pat the other day, I still would obviously. Um, I don't tend to watch other people's streams as a rule. I don't want to sort of influence myself from somebody else's content. And like, I'm going to just repeat myself now, like I did at the beginning of the stream an hour and a half ago, an hour, 25 minutes ago. If you're one of the guys who are planning to send me a story in, if you're planning to send it to other YouTubers who post stories, and there's a lot of them now, not like when I started, don't send it to me. And I'll tell you the reason why. The stories I put on Saturday for the first time ever in 3 years, three people wrote to me, three different people and said to me, the second story you read out, we heard it on another channel last week. So obviously the guy sent the story to two channels, right? So either send it to me or send it to them. If you send it to them, I don't want it. Okay? I've got to put it on now. It's only on. Put it back on. Oh, God. Go on. There we go. Right. Yeah, I mean yeah. The thing is, when you talk about the quality for you guys who are single, right? When you're looking for ladies, you know, you've got these standards here, haven't you? When you hear like, oh, she's not like they used to be, and all that. But any one of them knock on your door back in the UK or America, wherever, you're not going to say no, are you? Uh, yeah, it's a good point, Martin. Girls in the 20s look too young for me. I mean, it depends how old you are, isn't it? I mean, if I was to look for a girlfriend, I'm 62, I wouldn't consider anything under 35, 36. It's just stupid, isn't it? What are you going to talk about? Boys' bands? I'll tell you what I'm going to talk about now. I'm going to do the second competition. Now, again, these are not brand new. I put these out a year ago. Now, this is there's a little bit of a twist on this one. So this is the Ladyboy competition, okay? So normally there are 7 ladies and 1 ladyboy. You have to guess which one's a ladyboy, but it's the other way around tonight. So I've got yeah, there's 8 pictures. Let me just get rid of that comment. Hang on. Right, okay. Okay, so there's 8 pictures. 7 of them are ladies, Thai ladies, and 1 of them is a lady boy. Is that right? Sorry, I'm getting all mixed up now. There's 8 pictures. Rewind. There's 8 pictures. 7 of them are lady boys, and 1 of them is a real girl. So 7 Thai lady boys and 1 picture of a real Thai woman. And the idea of the competition is, I want to know what number is the real lady. Okay, I'm quite surprised at that one actually. So, remember, we're looking for the ladies. 7 lady boys, only 1 real lady. Okay. Christian Rainstorm, no. Robert Aruza, no. Matthew Cartwright, no. Richard Woolley, no. Leeds, no. Martin Ryder, no. Paul Scratch, yeah. Well done to you. You got it. You know your ladies. John Van Vange, is it? Sorry, I got it wrong. No. Ellesmere, yeah, you got it right. Well done. Brian Street, no. Um, Paul Owen, no. Jeff Fried Rice, no. Clive Allen, no. Jeff Say, no. Lester Paul, no. Pacemaker, no. Uh, Mazza, no. Mr. Batra, I can say Batra. No, that's wrong. Biggest Stiffest, nice to have you in. No. Martin McCormick, no. Remember, we're looking for the lady, not the lady boy. Christopher Tate, no. Mickey Bircher, yeah, well done to you. Baz Wookie, well done to you. Mark Hanley, no. Ed Jones, yes. Andrew's Real World, no. I'm worried about you now, Andrew. Matthew Alcorn, no. Sparky Ed, no. Good name, Sparky Ed, no. Red Pill Denmark, no. Chet Band, no. Remember, we're looking for the girl. Abraham Ford, not this time, mate. Uncle Nene, yeah, you got it right. Mazza, no. Chet Band, nervous. Don't be nervous. Come on, you can get it. You're looking. There's 7 lady boys. We want the girl. Okay, which one was the girl? Michael DiCaprio, no. All them 7s, no. Jay Easy, yeah, you got it. Roger Ward, no. Tony7682, yeah, okay, the picture's a bit blurry, I know. Sorry about that, guys. Martin Blunson, no. Innovations Reality, no. Mark Saunders, no. You're wondering who the girl is now, but all these no's. Johnny Red, yeah, is that it? Okay, Johnny Red, you got it right. Let's run the answers. Let's get this out of the way. Okay, so remember, 7 lady boys, you have to guess the lady, and the real lady is, drum roll. Well, Martin Ryder, the thing is, just because they're ladyboys, they might not necessarily have that Cumberland sausage, mightn't they? But you're going to have to take my word for it because I've never actually tried for real. Right, Andrew's Road, I came that quite wrong actually. Andrew's Road, no way, number 6 looks like a geezer. Do you think so? Let me just run that again for 10 seconds. Oh, do you know how I know it is? I'm really, really careful because I don't want to make mistakes. I don't want people writing here saying, no, you got it wrong because I found that pic. No, what I do when I get ladyboy pictures, I go to a website that I'm allowed to take them from, but there's no ladies on it, so I know 100% they're ladyboys. And then when I look for the Thai girls, I go somewhere else, so it's nothing to do with ladyboys, it's just models and stuff like that. So I know 100% that. You didn't say it, mix it up. I'm just saying, I'm just reiterating, as I say. Right, guys, I want to ask you a question now. So, the majority of you said that you enjoyed the live streams when I'm out and about. I did 2 from Beach Road, and I did one from, where was it? Jumped in last week. You remember that nice lady? She gave me the free wristband. I bought them their dinner on the beach. If you didn't see that one, there were 2 ladies out late, 1 o'clock in the morning. They were eating noodles, sitting on the street, and I got talking to them, and they were really, really nice. Okay, so I thought, tiny, not instant noodles, but the noodles you get from the stand. I thought, you know what, I'll buy you dinner, give me 50 baht each. I would chuck the bits, and I went and sat outside the bank, and she came along later to get some money out of the ATM. And she was really a lovely woman. I wouldn't say she's the sort of woman you want to spend an evening with, but she was a lovely personality. And she came up to me, and they sell these bracelets for 200 baht. And she came up to me and she said, look, that's for you. It said Pattaya on it. And she actually gave it to me. And I thought, it was really, really nice. But there is a point to that, that long story. So most of you said that you prefer, okay, the good thing about doing it in the room, you can do a competition, the ladyboys and all that. And I'm going to get a green screen, one of the collapsible ones, so I can put up a nice background. So when I do it in the room, it looks good. I can have the vampire girl and all the rest of it behind me. But I intend to do a lot outside. I actually bought this really expensive gimbal, and you've probably heard of it. And it's called a CJIOM5, and it's a really, really good one. And guess what? I've got a Samsung phone with Android 7, 13 on it, and that particular massive company, but this software has an issue. It won't work properly on my phone. And I spent 3 hours researching it, and apparently only on a Samsung phone with Android 12 or up, it's not compatible. There's issues. Now, you'd think a massive company like that would sort it out, but there's people all over the internet saying, no, they haven't sorted it out. So what I've done, okay, I'll sell that one, okay. But what I've done, I've been out and I've bought one of these, okay. Now I don't have to hook that up to my mobile phone. That's a CJI, and I'll just show you this. It's fantastic. Now this is a sort of camera that you can use. I'm not going to stick my camera in people's faces and do stealth filming, but it's really handy to be able to go out and look at that, right? Okay, tiny little screen on it, and it's got this robotic arm, so you just press like a joystick behind it. It's got various modes, and you can just sort of walk around like that, and you look very inintrusive. So I'm making the effort. I want to get out there. I want to do some good stuff. But the question I was going to ask you is next. That's it. Next week, I want to be out somewhere. Now, obviously, I can't walk around Nana Plaza. I can't walk down Soy Cowboy or anything like that because of the music coming out of the bars. The video will get taken down. So my question to you before I go, hi, Capio. We're nearly done, but good to see you in. Let's see what you're saying there. I saw Buzz and Patio walk down the second row with a camera like that. All the Thai bloggers use a camera like that. It's fantastic, and I've seen them. And I actually asked, what's his name now? Phil has a guy who does all his videoing and stuff. Phil from the pub. There's a guy called Pete. I think his name's Peter, and he uses one of these. And I got the model and everything. And I ordered it from Lazada. It cost me 12,000 baht, £300. Was it? Yeah, it was 12,000 baht. And I haven't used it yet because I need to. I forgot to. I got a SIM card for it, but an SD card. But I forgot that I've got to get some kind of a plug it into my laptop, and I need one of these ports where you can stick different things in there, right? So what my question is I want to do a live stream. Now, bearing in mind, I start at midnight in Thailand, okay, to 2 in the morning. So I can't really go for miles and go on the other side of the town because it'll take me all night to get back. But where would you like to see me do an outside kind of stream? I can't do Nana Plaza or Soy Cowboy because of the bars. I'll give you an example. I could walk down Sukhumvit, okay? I know that's boring. I'm just giving you an example, okay? I could stand up on the police box at Nana, just outside Nana, and say, right, okay, I'm going to walk down the length of Sukhumvit Road. I'm going to walk past Thermare to do that. I tell you what, that one might not be a bad idea for next week. Maybe what I'll do, midnight, I'll just cross over by the police box. I'll put a kind of selfie camera on that's not pointing in people's face, and I'll just walk down Sukhumvit past Thermare to the Asok Junction and do the. Well, I'll do it on the stream, like I've talked to you, because people do that nowadays. Yeah, I'll do that. That's what I'll do next week. So next Saturday, I'll put my phone on a selfie stick. Unfortunately, I can't use a gimbal, so it will be a little bit shaky like last week. But what I'll do, I'll walk down the length of Sukhumvit from, probably from the Nana station a little bit further up, and then I'll walk down to Asok. I'll walk past Fermi. I'll talk to the camera. You can see certain bits, and then I'll set the camera down and we can have a chat. How's that? I mean, that shouldn't be too bad for a first one. Okay, Brian Harris says, prefer indoor streams. Okay, Brian. The problem is I have to speak very quietly, and it's really hard for me to do anything interesting. That's why I did all the games and stuff. But a lot of people like the kind of roving about outside, so I think that's what I'd like to do as well. Yeah, I thought about that. Christian says, I have a pair of glasses with a camera. The problem is you turn your head and a lot of your audience will get sick. Yeah, that's a lesson I learned. You don't realize until you put out videos out there. Like if you're holding a phone, for instance, and you want to take a picture from here, so you do this, don't you, like that. But when you look at it, you get seasick because it's so fast. You don't realize. So when you actually do that, you've actually got to do it like this, real slow. Otherwise, the picture just, good point. Check down. Yes, I like the walking around live streams. Kind of getting hot again. You know what? Believe it or not, if you ask me, I prefer the walking around streams. I do because they go so fast. You meet interesting people. they're a little bit not embarrassing. Some people look at you and think, "Oh, am I being a bit intrusive?" But actually, the time goes quick. You're sweating. You know, you're out there. It's what YouTube should be about, isn't it? You're out there, as it were, not sitting in a room. Caprio, uh, can't can't send a super chat for some reason. Not sure if it's my end or yours. You know, it could be my end because I haven't. I had a few super chats about an hour and a half ago. Nobody sort of sent me a super chat for at least an hour. So maybe there's a problem my end. Somebody send me £1. I'll give it you back when I see you. I want to see if it's working. Right, somebody maybe plan a routine so there's a spot somewhere along the way to sit there. Oh yeah, absolutely, because that was a problem I had in what do you call it? That was a problem I had when I was in jump team last week. I couldn't find anywhere to sit down, but there's plenty of places along strip of it. You know, there's concrete plant boxes and all sorts. Um, Saji, Peter is frozen. Yeah, okay. Um, Dave the Rave. Uh, Peter, can you remember how much was your taxi from the airport to the hotel on the first day? Um, Generally, you can look. I told you the top tip. You can use Apple, right? Let me give a quick plug. Okay. Okay, that's Apple's taxi. That's her line. You can rewind this. Okay, she's a really nice lady. You know, she's not super cheap, but she's just very pleasant to be picked up by. She speaks English and she's nice. But generally speaking, what I say, top tip for you. Okay, if you want to take a taxi into town, you can take the SkyTrain, all the rest of it. But people got bags. They're tired after a long haul flight. But what a top tip is when you come out of the exit, don't go out of the arrivals because everybody's like they want a taxi. Okay, and you're fighting for taxis. Just go up in the elevator to the arrivals. All them taxis are dropping people off. They don't want to go back into town empty. I've had taxis for 300 baht into town because it's that or go back empty. And there's a line of them and they're desperate to get somebody to go back into town with. But generally speaking, I say you shouldn't pay more than 500 baht. Okay, thank you, Passimo. So it's your end, Capio. Super chat seems to be fine. Okay, so is that $1? It's about £1.50. So if I meet, I know you're going to say you don't need it, but I will. I'll give you it back. Okay, but thanks. Ricky should use ethnic connection instead of Wi-Fi if available. Well, no, I can't because I don't have a modem. What it is, I did that at home, didn't I? But what it is, I've got a contract with AIS 5G on my phone, so I'm using my what's going on here? Let me just get rid of some of that. Right. Got an idiot into it. Just got rid of him. Right. Hang on. Where was I? I just had a bit of an idiot getting there. Right. So what it is, I've got a contract with AIS 5G, and most of the time it's okay. But it's a mobile phone. I'm in the middle of a concrete jungle, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not so good. So I don't know what else I can do. Actually, I've got to find a better way to do the streams. Any suggestions would be welcome, but I can't plug a cable in because there's nowhere to plug it. I don't have a modem, as it were. Aussie Aussie four Aussie 411. I always catch BTS or have a honey pick me up. Yeah, absolutely. Um, okay, who else? Michael says, the better off in Thailand, Peter. Freezing here, worse next week. Nurses on strike. Postman, tube, train driver. Yeah, I know it's awful, isn't it? That's another reason why I don't want to get back. You know, I might not be able to get home. I don't live next to Heathrow. Paul Hoskins, the police had a go at me in Lumpini Park. I was giving bread to the pigeons and he warned. Yeah, yeah, absolutely, Paul. I didn't realise this. Let me just have a slurp on this or something. Yeah, they take it really seriously. I was sitting on a deck chair on Jump Team Beach. If you're not British, thank you, Edwin. Appreciate you there. We know it's fine. The cleaner, okay. Cheers. Yeah, why not? £2 for the cleaners. That's 80 baht. She'd appreciate that. Only problem is I don't have a cleaner. I'm the cleaner, so it'll be for me. I'll have it. I was sitting on Jump Team Beach and I ordered a sandwich, and the pigeons come around. You know, they're on the sand. They're looking. They're hoping. Oh, I'm getting lots of super chats now. Look. Is it working or isn't working? Do you like to get the CM card at the airport? I'll answer this in a second. Okay, look. Yeah, and I was on Jumping Beach and I was throwing bits of crumbs from a sandwich, and the lady came up who sold me the sandwich, really nice, but she says, "No, don't do that. You're getting a problem with police." And I'm like, "She's joking," but apparently. They don't want you feeding the pigeons. They discourage it. And if you're one of these guys who starts feeding the pigeons, Yeah, they'll have a go at you. You're not supposed to feed the pigeons. They don't want the pigeons hanging around. Right, Tony7682, thanks for the super chat. Do you like to get the CM train card at the airport? The Thai CM card at the airport. Any particular reason why AIS over other mobile providers? Yeah, absolutely. There is a reason, Tony, because generally speaking, I know you'll disagree with me this because of the quality of the stream, but AIS is probably one of the best, if not the best provider, just because of the coverage. You know, you've got True, they're pretty good as well, but AIS cover more of Thailand. They've got more antennas up, okay? And generally, they're very, very good. The reason the stream isn't great, I don't know if it's, look, I've just moved into this apartment today, okay? The mobile phone's there. I can do checks on it. I can go and put it in that corner. I can put it in that corner. I can hang it out the window, whatever. I've got to find a way. But give me a break, because I've just moved in literally yesterday, and this is my first stream since moving in. Okay, Thai Cloud, has your condo got a roof garden you can go up and? Oh, do you know what? I was just about to say it's a good idea. They've got an infinity pool on the roof, which would probably be a great signal, but they lock it at 10 o'clock. It closes at 10. It's a condo, but they close at 10. Right, Eric says, even if the signal looks good, it may be enough to move the phone a little closer to the window if you have the opportunity. Well, I'll tell you what it is. That's what I wanted to do, Tony. But when you're using your phone as a hotspot, it drains the battery real quick, okay? And I'm just afraid, because look, I'm coming up to an hour and 45 minutes now. If it's by the window and it's not plugged into a, well, mind you, I could put the charger. Okay, let me play with it. Let me play with it. I'll play with it in the week. Good idea. Tony says 6782 SIM card. Sorry, well, not, it isn't, Tony, because I've got 5G, and so when I'm out, I get 5G. But it just so happens in this apartment it switches to 4G, so obviously there's some interference. Andrew says, "See you later, Peter. I'm off to watch yet another." Yeah, World Cup starting in 50 minutes. You know what, guys? I think I'll knock it on the head as well. Then a live stream walk down Thong Law. I want to hang around here really when I do, because of the time of night here. I'm doing between 12 and 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't really want to finish the stream and then have to. The SkyTrain's closed. I have to try and get a taxi and fight with them about the meter. Come from 20 minutes away. I'd rather sort of stick to the local area. When the stream finishes, I can have a beer or I can come home and do my bit. Okay, guys, look, it's I'm coming up for 2 hours. I'm going to knock it on the head now because the football is actually starting in 15 minutes. I'm really, really tired. You've heard me say I've just moved in here yesterday. Did a lot of running around. I am literally shattered. So I'm going to have a small whiskey. I'm going to have a good night's sleep. I'm going to try and get my signal a lot better for next week's stream, but I will be out and about, hopefully. And I'll do a video of this apartment. You'll see what you get for 20,000 in Central. It's quite nice, actually. Very pleased with it. Okay, guys, thanks to everyone. Sorry it's been a low volume, as it were, but like I said, I don't want to be the bad neighbor or the neighbor from hell, okay? I'll catch up with you real soon, guys. Thanks a lot.